Seniors should avoid dangerous nighttime practices in order to prevent sudden death while sleeping after the age of 70. Health of the elderly. While urinating last night, a woman who was 74 years old passed away after collapsing and passing away. Simply getting up to use the restroom was something she had done countless times before. And she did it again. This time, however, she did not return to her bed at any point. There was no warning of heart illness or stroke, rather, there was a rapid collapse. Nobody in her family ever saw it coming. Also, she is not by herself. Senior citizens, numbering in the thousands, are susceptible to quiet, evening habits that, at first glance, appear to be innocuous. Within the scope of this video, we will unearth 4 undetected errors. At night, a lot of people over the age of 70 make blunders that could potentially take away their health or perhaps their life without any prior notice. We encourage you to remain with us because it is possible that one of these routines is already a part of your life. And altering it might potentially save your life. It's time to get started. First and foremost, abrupt excursions to the restroom without prior preparation. Once the desire strikes in the middle of the night, the majority of individuals immediately get out of bed, stroll to the bathroom, and then go back to bed without giving it a second thought. However, for elderly people over the age of 70, a single action, such as waking up too soon from sleep and walking around unprepared in the dark, can set off a chain reaction of potentially fatal occurrences. During the final moments of the woman who was 74 years old and whom we discussed before, she experienced a tragically commonplace death, due to the fact that she was experiencing the urge to urinate. She hurriedly jumped out of bed and then passed asleep just a few steps away from the restroom. What is the supposed reason? Her system was jolted by a quick drop in blood pressure, which is referred to as orthostatic hypotension in the medical field. Additionally, the floor of the washroom was quite chilly. The autonomic nerve system of an individual becomes more sensitive after the age of 70. After sitting down for an extended period of time, standing up too quickly can cause blood to pool in the legs, which can result in episodes of dizziness, fainting, or even abrupt cardiac arrhythmia. If you combine the fact that the floor is cold with the anxiety of moving around in the dark, your heart may be pushed to the point where it begins to fail. The 81-year-old Charles discovered this the hard way. When he felt pressure in his bladder, he would immediately get out of bed and go to the bathroom. But after a near-death experience in which he found himself momentarily comatose on the floor of the corridor, his physician suggested that he make a few adjustments that could save his life. To protect yourself from the effects of cold shock, sit up gently, dangle your feet for 30 seconds, use a gentle nightlight, and wear slippers. Not a single incident has occurred in Charles's life since that time. The reality is that your body, after you reach the age of 70, is no longer able to deal with sudden changes in the same manner that it used to. If you continue to get out of bed and dash to the bathroom, this is not a harmless routine, rather, it is a significant risk that you are putting yourself in. If you want to stay alive, you should take your time, protect your steps, and keep in mind that staying alive is often about doing something longer rather than faster. Secondly, consuming an excessive amount of water shortly before going to bed. There are a lot of people who think that drinking a glass or 2 of water right before going to bed is a good habit to get into. However, around the age of 70, that seemingly insignificant action can have unanticipated repercussions. Because of the sensitivity of their bladders, elderly people are already more likely to wake up throughout the night. However, if you drink a full glass of water right before going to bed, you almost certainly will wake up in the middle of the night to use the restroom 1 or more times. Not only is it an inconvenience, but it also causes disruptions to your heart rate, blood pressure, and the natural rhythm of your sleep cycle. The rapid awakening of the nervous system, particularly after a deep slumber, can produce a momentary increase in blood pressure and can also cause the nervous system to be jolted. This rise, when combined with increased activity in an environment that is either dark or cold, can increase the risk of cardiac events or strokes in persons who are already sensitive. Every night about 10:30 o'clock, Evelyn, who was 79 years old at the time, would drink a glass of water that she had placed on her bedside. She claimed that it assisted her in maintaining her hydration levels and supported the function of her kidneys. However, what she failed to recognize was that her habit of drinking water late at night resulted in 3 trips to the bathroom each and every night. It was then that she started waking up feeling sleepy, disoriented, and occasionally experiencing heart palpitations. Eventually, her physician suggested that she take a different amount of water earlier in the day and that she stop drinking fluids 2 hours before going to bed. A week later, she noticed a significant improvement in her sleep. The number of times she woke up during the night decreased from 3 to 1. Hydration is really important, particularly as we become older. But timing is significant. Not only is it what you do after the age of 70, but it is also when you do it. When you fill your bladder immediately before going to bed, you expose yourself to risks that are not essential and disrupt the natural rhythm of rest that your body so desperately requires. If you consume alcohol late into the night and wake up multiple times to urinate, your body is attempting to communicate with you, but you are not paying attention. Now is the moment to pay attention. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Ignoring sudden dizziness during the night is the third recommendation. The sensation of dizziness may appear to be harmless, particularly if it is fleeting or occurs only while one is getting out of bed. However, disregarding that transient sensation, particularly when it occurs during overnight trips to the bathroom, can be a catastrophic mistake for elderly people over the age of 70. Orthostatic hypotension is a condition that occurs when a person unexpectedly drops their blood pressure if they are lying down and then swiftly rise from that position. In addition, the plunge does more than just make you feel shaken up. It is possible for you to lose your balance, strike your head, or perhaps pass out completely. During the night, when there is no one else around, and when you are alone in the comfort of your own house, that one moment of instability may be the last. One time, Richard, a widower who was 76 years old, jumped out of bed at 2 in the morning in order to go to the restroom. He was overcome with a wave of dizziness, but he dismissed it, assuming that it was simply the result of rising up too quickly. In the process of returning, he stumbled over the rug in his bedroom, causing him to smash his shoulder with such force that it fractured. Subsequently, the hospital confirmed that his dizziness was caused by a combination of dehydration and a side effect of the medication he was taking. It was a rude awakening that he had not anticipated, but happily, he was still alive to make the necessary modifications. What is the takeaway? Every time your body sends a signal, regardless of how insignificant it may be, it is not just noise. It is communication. Seniors who are able to learn to pause, sit at the side of the bed for 30 seconds, and gently stand while holding onto something sturdy are frequently spared the kinds of accidents that do not come with a second chance. It is a habit that is rooted in pride and regularity to ignore minor symptoms since they feel familiar or manageable. But in this day and age, every signal is significant. Dizziness is not a characteristic of getting older, rather, it is a warning sign. Your body is sending you a whisper that tells you to slow down. Pay attention, and be safe. And those who pay attention to that hushed voice are the ones who live to tell about it. Immediately following a hearty meal, the fourth recommendation is to go to bed. When we are in our latter years, one of the tiny luxuries that life may provide is a dinner that is both warm and hearty that we have in the evening. However, what many people fail to recognize is that going to bed immediately after eating a heavy dinner, particularly one that is high in fat, salt, or refined carbohydrates, might put your health in jeopardy in a way that is not immediately obvious. It is possible for your body to have a variety of physiological responses when it is forced to digest a complete meal while you are lying down. These responses can cause your blood pressure to rise, disturb your blood sugar levels, and even increase the risk of cardiac events occurring throughout the night. When we talk about not only indigestion, but also a pressure on the heart at a time when it should be slowing down, we are talking about indigestion. For example, Edith, who is 74 years old, decided to have a large meal of pasta and sausage along with a slice of pie at approximately 8:30 p.m. She had been snuggled into bed and was beginning to drift off to sleep by 9:15. At 100 o'clock in the morning, she awoke with shortness of breath and heart palpitations that were so severe that she summoned her son. Within a regular heartbeat, it was discovered that her body had responded to the effort of digesting such a substantial meal while she was sleeping. This was because her body was overwhelmed by the effort. Despite the fact that she is doing well now, she no longer eats late. It is not about cutting off foods that you enjoy eating, rather, it is about timing. Between the time you take your last bite and the time you go to bed, experts recommend giving your body at least 2 to 3 hours. Because of this interval, your digestive system is able to perform its functions while you are still standing, which reduces the strain that is placed on your cardiovascular and metabolic systems when it is time for you to go to sleep. In a stage of life where every heartbeat matters, senior citizens who keep this behavior frequently report better rest, fewer trips to the bathroom during the night, and enhanced morning energy. This is because they are obeying their body's overnight clock. There is no suggestion in rhythm, rather, it is a mechanism for survival. I would appreciate it if you could use the 4th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Now, let's proceed with our plans. Final thoughts will be presented by me. When one hears a story, such as the one about the 74-year-old woman who passed away after using the restroom in the middle of the night, it is a disturbing experience, despite the fact that it serves as a reminder of how delicate the equilibrium can be. Particularly as we become older, it also serves as a reminder that we are not powerless. The routines that we take into the nighttime hours, such as how we walk, what we eat, and how we get ready for sleep, are not just activities that we do. They are choices, and each one bears more weight than the others. Avoiding these 4 potentially dangerous actions during the night does not mean living in fear. The key is to provide your body with the peacefulness, routine, and preparation it needs in order to safeguard you at the times when you are most susceptible to harm. Healing should be the focus of a peaceful night, not taking any chances. There is a correlation between the degree to which you respect that barrier and the likelihood that you will wake up feeling strong, stable, and prepared to take on another day. If you go to the gym or visit the doctor, you might not always be able to achieve longevity. There are times when it is one of the choices that is made in the quiet, unobserved moments after the sun has set. Therefore, if you have recognized yourself in any of the examples presented today, don't let it be a cause for concern, rather, take it as a nudging. There is no age at which you cannot adapt. Learning can never be done at a later time, and the behaviors that you created tonight will be the foundation for your next breath, your next morning, and your next year. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. Please leave a comment below and tell us about one item you discovered today and how you intend to put it to use in your life right now. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.